Okay, welcome back to Polynomial Factoring. This is day 2. This is your Polynomial Factoring worksheet, day 2. So let's take a look. The first thing we're talking about, it says factor the sum or difference of cubes. So off to the side here, I kind of put down the sum or difference of cubes rule that we have to follow. So first of all, we need to figure out, is it a sum or is it a difference? Sum meaning addition and difference meaning subtraction. So if I take a look at problem number 1, I have x cubed plus 125. So plus meaning I have a sum. So I'm going to follow the sum rule, which is this one right here, which says a cubed plus b cubed equals a plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. So I'm going to actually rewrite this problem so that it looks like this more, something cubed plus something cubed. Well, I already have something cubed to start with, x cubed. But I'm going to rewrite 25 as 5 cubed. 125 is 5 cubed. So now I have my a and my b. And now I can just fill in the sum or difference of cubes rule. So I know that this is the same as x plus 5, because here's my a and my b, times x squared minus, and this is a times b, so I have 5 times x, which is 5x, plus b squared. Well, my b is 5, so I'm going to put that in there, 5 squared. So the only thing I have left to do to finish this factoring is to go ahead and evaluate that 5 squared. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I have my x plus 5 in the beginning. That stays the same. Then x squared minus 5x plus 25. So simply by identifying if I have a sum or difference of cubes, figuring out what my a and b are, I can go ahead and factor that quite easily. On the back of the sheet, we are factoring a polynomial in quadratic form. Okay? Sorry, my thing's a little wanky here. So let's go ahead and factor this. We have x to the 4th minus x squared minus 6. And I need to factor this in quadratic form. So basically, I need something that looks like ax squared, okay, plus bx plus c. And in this case, I have something squared plus something plus c. In this case, my x here is actually x squared. So I could rewrite this as x squared minus x squared minus 6. And if you look at that now, we really have this x squared part is the same as the one in a regular quadratic form that we're used to factoring. And we're going to factor it the same way. Because our a is 1 in this case, we're going to find two numbers that multiply to give me c. So I want two numbers. They have to multiply to give me c, which is our negative 6, but add to give me a negative 1. Add to give me b. So multiply to give me c and add to give me b. So I'm going to kind of think about those numbers for a second here. So I'm going to think about the factors of negative 6. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and start with 1 and 5. Now, 1 and 6. And one of them would have to be negative. So to get a negative 1, let's say I put the 6 there. They do not add to negative 1. They add to a negative 5. So that does not work. Other factors of negative 6. I'm going to go ahead and try 2 and 3. Let's see, 2 and 3. To add to get negative 1, the 3 would have to be negative, and that's true. So these do equal negative 1. So I have my two factors, and I can go ahead and then rewrite this with my two factors, knowing that this is basically my x. So in the past, when we had just an x in the beginning, this time we're actually going to have an x squared. Okay? Because we need something that's going to multiply together to give me x to the 4th. So I have x squared in the front, and in the back, I'm going to have my two factors of negative 6. So I'm going to have a positive 2 and a negative 3. And now I need to just double check these factors to make sure that I can't factor them at all. They're both binomials, so I might want to check for difference of squares. Well, here I have this addition, so that can't be a difference of squares. And here, 3 is not a perfect square. So I'm done. If you have any questions on today's lesson, see me or Mr. Daniels, and enjoy doing the rest of your homework.